Hey, what's up everyone? This is Eli. I'm going to show you a few things about the upright bass. If you already play electric, which you probably do, most people don't start on this, but it's a very different instrument. And there's a few things that I think need to be addressed, especially if you're coming from electric to upright, just because this instrument is so cumbersome and large and is kind of a physical effort to play. So what I'm hoping to do is sort of set you up with the fundamentals so that you can, really get a good foundation for when you play. So the first thing I want to talk about is really important is making sure that we're playing relaxed in every way that we can. And I think something that really helps with that is yoga. You can find all sorts of stuff like that. Any kind of exercise can help, but you just generally want to be relaxed, because when you tense up, especially with like your hands or your fingers or your wrists, you'll injure yourself. You can get your back hurt or something like that, So I think that's really the most important thing. The other part is making sure that we're standing naturally. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that how you stand, if you take the bass away, it doesn't look weird. Like some people, it looks fine when they're playing, but then you take the bass away and they kind of look like this. You don't want to do that. You just want to look like this, when you're playing. So something that helps with that, I think, is stand normally and then bring the bass to you. Don't go to the bass like this. Just stand, feet shoulder width apart, nice relaxed back, hips open. Don't sort of clench or get all like robotic on it. Just open everything, shoulders loose, relaxed. If you rub it out or something like that, roll them out, put the bass down, and then bring it to you in a way that feels comfortable. And you should, for at least to some extent, be able to just do this with it, and the bass won't go anywhere. So it has to be balanced, like either on your belly or like in your hip joint. Some people do it like this, some people do it like this, some people like this. It just really depends. So that's the first thing, is making sure that we're standing and our posture is in a healthy way. Some people sit when they play. That's a lot easier. Just making sure you're sitting up straight, not like hunching your back over. So there's also a lot of things I think can help if you stretch. So here's a good one. This is easy. Just very lightly. Don't go too hard. Don't push it. Just take your hand over your fingers and do it like this. Just gently push back, and then do it the other way and gently pull like that. Do that on both hands. For a bit. Stretch out your thumb while you do this for maximum stretch. And this one I've been really liking a lot, actually. You take your hands, put them like this, and then just spread them like as wide as you possibly can. Pull your fingers back as far as they'll go. You should feel a bit of a burn in your forearms. That loosens us all up before we do anything. That's a really good one. Touching your toes is good. All sorts of things can help. So if you do play electric bass already, good news, the strings are the same. The way that you play is going to be different because there are no frets, so now we have to worry about intonation, but we can get to that later. Scales will help you with that. Play your scales a lot. Play 2 octaves, 3 octaves if you can, 1 octave, whatever, wherever you're at. Just play a lot of scales until you know where the notes are, until they're in tune. Play against a drone if you can. So when we're plucking the string, it's a pluck, not really that much of a pull. You're not muscling the string at all. Relaxed, lightly against that, because what we're going for is resonance. We want a big sound. The bigger the sound, the more resonant it is. If you're like a lot of people try and do like this, and that's just a way to injure yourself. You'll hear all sorts of like people just going like, well, you gotta dig in, play hard, and it's literally just gonna hurt you. Don't listen to them. Just let the sound speak for itself. So The other good news is the string names are the same. You know, E, A, D, G, and you know, everything else still applies to that. So something I want you to do, if you don't have a metronome, it's easy to find it on your computer or your phone. I have one here on my computer because I'm recording with my phone. So give me a second, I'll pull that up. I'm gonna set it to 60 beats per minute, and a really good warm-up for plucking is to just pluck open strings on the quarter note. And if you don't know the string names, or if you're just new to the bass entirely, say the string names out loud as you're plucking them. And as far as right hand technique goes, there's so many different ways to do it. Some people do it like this, 2 fingers. Some people do that with just 1 finger like that. Ron Carter does that really well. You know, Peter Washington does like this. Ray Brown, great Ray Brown from Pittsburgh, just used kind of 1 finger. He was like, and he would still play with like 2 fingers too when he needed to. Christian McBride, another great bass player, it's kind of like this. He does a lot of different things. It kind of depends on what he's feeling. Paul Chambers kind of used 2. He would do stuff like that. You know, a lot of people do a lot of different things. Just make sure whatever you're doing, you're getting you're getting as much of the finger on the string as possible before you do that, and you're letting your arm weight drop and it's relaxed. So we're drop down where it naturally wants to go, kind of into the bass, away, straight back. You don't need to move your arm a lot. You don't have to like pull super hard. You don't have to, you'll see some people like flapping their arms around like this. You don't have to do that. That's just extra motion. You're gonna hurt yourself, or at best just get tired. Just as little motion and relaxed as possible. So what I want to do with this is I'm going to put the metronome on, and what we're going to do is we're going to play. You can do this with me too. We're going to play with the quarter note. We're going to play piano for 4 bars on each string. We're going to go piano for 4 bars, and then mezzo forte for 4 bars, and then forte for 4 bars. So here it is on the G string, just as an example. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know I'm using too much motion there. This is a good warm-up before you play. I'm a mezzo forte now. Get ready for forte, here we go. Just let all the arm weight drop. On the D string, and like say the name of the string as you do it too. You don't have to do it every time. You don't have to be like D, 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 D. You can just go D string, D string, stuff like that. You can just do that. So let's do that right now, and then we'll move on to something else. But you can go ahead and do this with all the strings. So D string, piano first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right in the middle of the beat. Relaxed. Breathe too. Mezzo forte. that helps because the steadier we are with our time, the better we are as bass players, honestly, because that's what everyone's looking to us for. We're supposed to be in charge of the time. Now, the left hand, just curved fingers, and make sure you're pressing everything all the way down. And you want to kind of have this shape for intonation, because a half step is this, and then that's the shape of the next half step. So our hand position has to reflect that. So when you're playing like a G major scale, it has to look like... Again, keep it relaxed. Don't squeeze too much. Curved fingers. Let the arm weight drop, because this is a lot of tension here. Now the bow. There's two different kinds of bows you can use. This is a French bow, and this is a German bow. I used to play French for a really long time. I'm more partial to German now. It's just because I grew up with cello, and there's like less tension when I play like this. So the thing that you got to do, I'm gonna turn this off real quick. Sorry about that. The thing you really want to do first, you want to make sure they're like, you don't leave them lying around tightened, because that will ruin the bow. It'll break it, and then you'll have to buy a new one, and no one wants to do that. So you take the thing at the end, you're going to tighten it until it doesn't really, it would take a fair amount of effort to tighten it some more. You know, it should be like pretty, it shouldn't be too tight, but you should like feel a difference. There's this thing called rosin. You need this if you're gonna play with the bow. So take that out. Mine's kind of stuck, so I have to tap it. And here's how you apply it. Just in the same direction every time with the hair. Just put the little resiny part on there and just let it go like that. If you have a new bow, you might need or you just got a rehair, you're gonna need to do it a few more times. I like to try and get the little gunk out by doing that. But generally you should do it like 2 or 3 times if you like rosin every day. So the bow grip, really important to be relaxed. Just hold it like this and put your thumb on top, pinky on the bottom, ring finger inside, middle finger touching the stick like this, and then top is just kind of on there. You kind of just hold your hand open, put the bow in, drop your weight down like that, and then just without forcing, just kind of just pull the string. And that's another thing to do, is just you do long tones when you practice, when you warm up. Really long bows. And keep the bow straight too. Real quick, the French bow kind of looks like this. The grip will grip more of a hold. It's more of a hold than a grip because you're not really gripping it. But you kind of want to just do this and put the bow in. The thumb goes under here, not in this little thing, not in this little corner right here, but right in front of it, right in front of the metal thing. These fingers drape over it. Make sure that there's enough, you have like a strong hold between the pinky and the index finger. And it's kind of the same deal. Keep everything relaxed. And then just pull the bow. And long tones. That's pretty much the basics of what you're gonna have to do for this. But those sort of like really easy warm-up exercises are the best way to get started. I hope this was helpful, and happy practicing.